Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Here's a little project update. It's going to be the first time you guys have seen it on the YouTubes, but if you've been following around on my social media, you guys have probably seen this guy before. First things first, I have no idea how to pronounce the style of tobacco pouch that this is. I will put it in the description, and you guys can do your Google foo and nerd out and read all about this particular style of tobacco pouch. And mine is not exactly like what inspired this pouch. Mine is a little bit different. I first saw this, or most recently saw this anyway. I'm going to say first because I don't think I've ever seen one exactly like this, on my good buddy Philip Liebel's page, and he's Primitive Wilderness Survival. He's out of Texas. Fantastic primitive skills instructor, craftsman, knife maker, handsome rascal. I don't know if you guys, this is kind of weird, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. There's some stickers of him with his shirt off that are pretty awesome, and if I have to, I'll have some more made just so more people can have some. But they're pretty awesome. Let me just say that. But yeah. Anyway, back to this pouch. You can check out his page. Is at Primitive Wilderness Survival on the Instagram, and he made two traditional style, what would be a neck tobacco pouch, and one is the French style pouch that is kind of shaped like a heart. This one is kind of shaped like a heart, not as much as some of the other ones. And there's a lot of cool, I'll call it lore, that goes along with this history about how they think some of these things were made. They thought maybe husbands made them for, or I'm sorry, wives made them for their husbands, and depending on how fancy they were, their love was shown through in their craftsmanship. Lots of stuff that you can read about these things. So, me being a high fantasy nerd for as long as I can remember, and as many books as I don't know if I have read one that does not talk about something smoking a pipe, be it a dwarf, a wizard, hobbits. You never know, but they all have a cool little tobacco pouch that they carry with them on their quests or just out and about doing things, very much like traditional frontiersmen and stuff would have done. Them guys was questing, like you can say they wouldn't, but they was. And I wanted to have one. I wanted to make one for myself. And I don't really smoke, but I could puff on a pipe, I guess, if I really wanted to. But making it was the fun part. It's really what I wanted to do. So I started by making me a few pipes. I bought all the stuff to kind of put together a tobacco kit probably a year ago. I guess I had some people suggest some different types of tobacco to me. One, my good buddy Joseph, Father Nomad, suggested some stuff called Pirate's Cake and this cult stuff that smells fantastic. Also, my buddy Sam Gravestock, Man of Kenneth, suggested some, cannot remember the name of it now. Dang, can't remember what it was. It was like some super, Carter Hall was the name of it. It was supposed to be super good stuff. And I also stumbled upon what Einstein preferred to smoke in a pipe, and I had some of that too. I haven't smoked any of it, but anyway, I was getting things. I got me a couple of little rinky-dink corncob pipes. Someone had told me that the corncob pipe was the Mora knife of the pipe world, so I'm down for anything like that. But once I started looking into this stuff, I figured, hey man, I could make my own pipe. I know basically how these guys work. I know materials readily around here that I could just make some of these out of. So I made several of them, and this is the one that I end up liking the most. And it's a spalted maple, a bowl, I guess. And it's a black walnut stem. The black walnuts, when you get saplings or a young growth, it's extremely piffy, so it's real easy to knock the center out and have a pipe. So I made several pipes, and this is the one that I ended up going with. And this pouch was what I went with for carrying my tobacco smoke kit, or whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. So it is just inexpensive Hobby Lobby leather, the stuff you can buy by the pound. Sorry, I had to wet my whistle. So I just roughly cut me out the shapes that I wanted, turned it inside out, and sewed it all together with artificial sinew. And I made I cut the little loops. You see the top loop is what actually keeps it closed. It goes over the little loops for the pipe, and then that's what keeps the top closed on it. So your first piece, it's kind of tough. You want it to be fairly tight, but you have to play around and see the size of the loops. Slit it and put you in a couple of loops. Then sew it up inside out, so when you turn it right side in, it is the right way. And then once that was up there, I made me just a little flap to cover the top and sewed my flap on. I did have 3 lanyard holes in it just to try to figure out what kind of lanyard I was going to have. And my 550 cord is probably one of the best ones I could get. I may try to do something different. I think if Sam and Frodo could have got some paracord for their trip, they would have had it. And there's part of it where Sam is talking about wanting some good rope, and the elves talk about light and strong rope, thin and light and strong. I think they would have had some paracord. But anyway, I have the option to change this if I want to. I also poked a couple more holes just kind of in the side for some sort of decoration. And this is just a piece of leather with some copper wire that I twisted up into beads. And I scuffed them up with a Scotch-Brite pad and soaked them in Miracle Grow and salt. And it forces a patina on them like that. It'll wear off just from use in the copper, and high spots will show through. But I made this dude roughly the size of the tin that was going to go inside of it. This is just the Hudson Bay. I don't know if it's actually a tobacco tin, but Hudson Bay style. This is that Colt stuff. It smells really good. Really kind of moist. But I made it for roughly the same size as my tin. It's got a magnet in the top, or a magnifying glass in the top. These are pretty cool. People make flint steel kits out of them and stuff. But it is roughly the size of my kit. And again, the little flap here. There's some tedious things on here, but it's really it's not that high tech. Like, I mean, it's super ingenious, like super ingenious. But to make it, it's really not that hard to make it. You can get by with some stuff being close, and because it's not. I mean, it's not super tight. I have to work a little bit to get it out, but it's just not going to fall out of the pouch. And then I've been rubbing it with the same wax that I used for my Helicon Tex bag. So I'll just rub the wax in it real good, and I'll catch the heater when the heater is hot, and I'll just hold it over the heater, and it'll absorb that wax into it. And I've liked this stuff because it's not sticky. It doesn't have a sticky feel to it. You'd think it would be really gooey after as much wax as I put on it, but it's not. But pretty cool project. Once I get a hair to make another one, I got some different stuff. I have some a big python skin, and some cool monitor skins, and some dragon looking stuff, and some snake skins, and I got a bunch of different animals. I need to do a video on some of the hides that I have that I've just been waiting to use until I find the right thing. But I think this style is going to be the style that I use for my kits. It's very goblin core. Somebody said that on my Instagram, that my stuff has a goblin core feel to it, and I like that. Pretty cool. Anyway, but yeah, pretty sweet. I will put the name of this dude in the description, and you guys can nerd out and read some of the history on it. It's pretty awesome. And really, there's a lot of stuff on it, but they really don't know for a fact everything about this. There's some of it is speculation. But anyway, guys, I appreciate the support. If you've made it this far, man, hit me with that subscribe, a like and subscribe, and I appreciate it. And we will catch you on the flip side, guys. You can check out at Bushcraft Kelso on Instagram, bushcraftkelso.com for gizmos and gadgets. Again, appreciate it. Until next time.